You need her to log in?
Just a couple things, just wanted to point out up here, this is your Honors College staff. If you don't know us all, in our titles and our contact information. Also, there are handouts in the back. If you're an international student, there's specific information that's related to you, so you'll want to grab that. Also, if you're interested in the Honda Campus All-Stars, there's a flyer back there and a sign-in. And please make sure you pick up one of the semester events flyers so that you know what's going on this semester. In the future, those will be sent to you through D2L and other communications.
What's Honda Campus All-Stars?
Honda Campus All-Stars, I will talk about that in my presentation. So hold on to the end of your seat. I don't want to stay up here too long. I am asking that you hold your questions to the end since we have a lot of information we want to get to you today. So just kind of put it in your phones if you need to, or write it on the back of a piece of paper. Great, so we're going to go ahead and get started. And the first person we have up right now is Dr. Schlag.
Clap, I don't mind. I don't mean it. Yep. Okay. Who's from Ohio? Raise your hands. Okay. Michigan. Couple Michigan folks. Indiana. Indiana. All right, where else are we from? Who's from Georgia?
Woo.
Me too, I guess. 3 people are from Georgia. Where else? Yell it out. Did we get everybody? What?
Chicago.
Illinois. How did I miss Illinois? All right, Cubs or Sox?
Cubs.
Yes. I like it. All right, I'm from Illinois too. All right, where are you from?
Panama.
Panama. Anybody else from further away than Panama? Great. Well, it's good to have everybody here. Everybody joining us online. We're so excited to welcome you to the Honors College at Central State University. I mean, look at me. Let me tell you this. I met a lot of you yesterday, and I've read about a lot of you, and we have something very special going on at Central State University and the Honors College. I'm telling you, you guys are the best of the best. My name is Dr. Schlag. I've been to many major universities. I've got 4 different degrees from major universities. I've been around students for 30 years now. You guys can compete with the best of the best. That's true. Thank you. Yes. I want you to know that. I want you to know that the sky is the limit to what you can accomplish. From those seats you're sitting in right now, you can do anything. It's going to take planning. It's going to take hard work. A lot of you already put in work to be excellent, right? Obviously, because you're here right now. You're talented, you're gifted, you're bright. I believe in you. The people that are in the Honors College believe in you. But you can't stop. You cannot stop. So, Socrates, Plato, came up with this concept that they call arete. Arete is excellence. Okay? When you go to the Air Force Academy, I'm from Colorado Springs, Colorado. The U.S. Air Force Academy is an elite institution. When they go in there, their motto is excellence in all we do. So here at Central State University in the Honors College, we're all about arete. We're all about excellence. Okay? They define that as excellence in all that you do in life. It's about fulfilling your potential. You know, fulfilling your life to its highest potential. Then we had another philosopher come along, Homer, Socrates, all those guys came along and they further defined it. One was doing excellent things in the useful aspects of life, right? Because we could build the largest giant tinfoil ball in the world, but what really are we accomplishing there? So he was more like, let's do something useful with our excellence. And Homer came along and talked about heroic attributes. I want you guys to think about heroic attributes. What happens to your muscles if you don't exercise them?
They go away.
They go away. It's called atrophy, right? It doesn't just stop in the last state it was in. Look at me. I'm proof. You atrophy. I used to be a specimen. We won 2 cross-country championships in my high school. I didn't look like this. So you got to work on the physical. Now I'm going to blame it on my elliptical being broken. It's like $400 to fix the thing. So haven't fixed the elliptical yet. But you watch. I'm going to seek for excellence in that. So your physical atrophies. What happens if you stop working at a relationship? It falls apart. It doesn't grow. Oh, I fell out of love with this person. No, you stop doing the things that made you love each other in the first place. As you come here, you're going to build relationships that might last you your entire life. I met my wife freshman year. 23 years later, happier than I've ever been. I woke up next to her this morning. Man, life is good. Life is so good to have that kind of a relationship with somebody. So you're here to build your relationships, to learn how to build wholesome, productive relationships. If you're not building a wholesome relationship, cut it off. Right? Okay, so that's your social development we're working on here. Intellectual development. We want you to come here and gain skills, knowledge, experiences, networking. Okay, part of my vision, or part of my goal, or my purpose is to show you a vision. What are you going to do 4 years from now? What are you going to be, what are you going to be doing? And the decisions you make, those small decisions, day to day. I'm not going to class. I can't get out of bed. I'm gonna stay up till 4 a.m. playing a video game, and then I'm not going to class the next morning. Those little decisions build up. So what decisions? What little decisions are you going to make, little by little, this way, little by little, to build that excellence, that virtuous, that whole life that's going to be good for you and going to be good for your children and your children's children and on and on and on. That's what we want. That's what it's about to get a university education, to become a well-rounded individual. Now, I've seen statistics about African Americans and nature. There's environmental things that we get. There's stuff you get out of being in the environment and being out. We need to get out in the environment more. Did you know there's something that trees put off that changes our brain structure? It releases endorphins. Isn't that cool? So there's something that trees get off. You go hiking in the woods, it releases endorphins. You get stressed out, you're in a beautiful area. Just down the road, there is a huge waterfall that's spectacular. And then if you go around some of those paths over by the waterfall, you can go down and you can crawl, like there's huge cliffs. You can walk underneath some beautiful cliffs. So if you're feeling stuck, you feel like, my life, there's too much stress, get out into nature around here and just put things into perspective for yourself. So that's kind of like environmental excellence. Right? Taking advantage of this amazing spot that you're in. Don't be afraid to explore and go around, see the nature that's around here, because you got state parks all over the place over here. It's just spectacular. Okay, so all these different areas, I encourage you. I want you to pursue excellence in all that you do. I want us to put Central State more on the map. Now, we have some excellent students already. You're the next generation. We've got a student who got the top science scholarship in the country, along with people from Harvard and Ohio State. Okay? Top science scholarship in the country. We have another student who just got what's called the Boren Award. They paid for her to study Swahili at the University of Florida this summer, and now they're paying for her to study this semester in Tanzania. Okay? So we want you to be looking for these opportunities. A couple scholarships I want to put in your mind. Truman Scholarship, one of the top scholarships in the United States. Truman Scholarship will pay for your graduate education. It'll pay for you to get a master's degree. Anyway, pretty much. I don't think there's anybody who's ever turned down a Truman Scholarship. So you get to pick. It's for people, students that are interested in government. You want to go into government to make a difference in people's lives. So we can put up, every university can put up a few students, 3 students, for the Truman Scholarship. Even if you don't get it, the fact that we put you up and that you're the nominee and that we're going to do a press release about you, that's a big deal. Okay? Now, who's heard of the Rhodes Scholarship? Anybody heard of Rhodes Scholars? Okay, that is the top scholarship in the world. We can nominate students. We just got okayed to nominate students from Central State University. Okay? If you get a Rhodes Scholarship, the likelihood here, a little bit low, but we're going to nominate you. Maybe you get it. You never know. You could be the next Rhodes Scholar. What does a Rhodes Scholarship mean? You get to study at Oxford for free.
Oh, wow.
Get a graduate degree. You could get 2 graduate degrees for free from Oxford University if you're a Rhodes Scholar. You can do your master's and your doctorate there. Oxford University, arguably the top university in the world. Okay? And you get to pick. This is the area I like, and you know, they would pay for you to do that. Just the fact that you can put on your application or your resume, Rhodes Scholar nominee from Central State University, that's big time. Okay? That's big time. So those are some of the major scholarships I want you to be thinking about. That could be any area. It doesn't have to be government like Truman. It can be anybody in here that you want to go up for the Rhodes Scholarship. To do these things, you and I need to meet. We need to come up with a plan. What are you going to do to set yourself apart from the other applicants for those scholarships? Now, let's say you're not interested in those scholarships anyway. We still need to come up with a plan for you. What do you want to do 4 years from now, and how are we going to set you apart? I want you leading on this campus. I want you recognizing a need in the community or on campus, and you're going to create something. You're going to develop something. You're going to lead out and do something great. I want you to get involved in your organizations and your passions, and you become the leader. And then you take all those talented, energetic people around you, and you do something great. You do something to benefit the community. This is my kick lately. The food banks in Dayton, Ohio are out of food. I know this because my son just did a major project where we got food for the Dayton Food Bank. And there, man, we went into that warehouse. It was empty. And they were lying around the block. You know, with inflation and gas prices and all that stuff, food insecurity is huge. What could Central do? What could you do to impact somebody's life, to help them with those things? So those are some of the scholarships. We have the Honors Continuing Student Scholarship. You guys got the Freshman Honors Scholarship and maybe some other ones. But all of you should have gotten the Honors Freshman Scholarship. I want you to make sure, you go into your thing, make sure it was applied to your account. It's what, $2,250 this semester, $2,250 next semester. Make sure that that's on there. Okay? In the future, for next year, I want you to do well. If you get 3.5 to 3.69, you're going to get $3,000. Okay? If you get 3.7 to 4.0, we're going to give you $4,000 next year. So it pays for you to do well. We want to reward you for doing well. So those are our scholarships in the Honors College. If you have other ones in your area, be looking in your area. I'm great at writing letters for you. So look for other scholarships where we can get you some extra funding or extra awards or recognitions or things like that, right? So the person who won that Goldwater Scholarship, she got a little bit of money, but you got the top scholarship. And then she's on a billboard right now in Cincinnati, right? She's being featured all over the place. We did press conference with media and TV. So we really, let us know when you're doing amazing things. Let us help you, but also let us know if a recognition comes your way so we can put it out there. I was asking Ethan yesterday, when's the last time you Googled your name? We want by the time you come out of here, you Google your name and all this great stuff comes up. Your honors, scholarship, Dayton Food Bank project, all these different great things come up about you. Because you got to think about how you're going to set yourself apart 4 years from now to be hired and to really launch yourself into a successful career. Okay? So I have really high expectations for you. I'm going to talk a little bit, and you can hate me for this, and I don't care. I personally stay away from any substance that alters my state of mind or my physical abilities. Okay? Look up some studies about what happens when you give marijuana or caffeine or crack cocaine or whatever to a spider and see what happens to the spider web. It's fascinating. Marijuana is the worst one for them. Spiders and marijuana don't mix. The web's terrible. Now, if you do that, don't smoke it in our residence halls, please. Go take your bad habit that's killing your brain cells and go somewhere outside or something, okay? If I catch you, that's not living up to the standards that I want set. Inside. Outside, can't do anything about it. But there's other people like me that might be quiet, and they're like, I don't want that in my residence hall. I don't want to smell that. I don't want to be around it. I don't want that to affect me the way it does, okay? So just please be respectful of that, but just know my opinion. And that's my opinion. You don't have to have the same opinion. That's okay. But I will want to hold you to high standards. I grew up in a generation where we didn't lower the basketball hoop. It was always 10 feet. The standard was always there. You grew up in a generation where we start off on biddy, and that's probably pretty good actually, where we lower the hoop for biddy basketball. I coach those kids. But I'm not lowering my standards. I know you can do it. I believe you can do it. If you don't, it was set out for you from the beginning. So please, let's live up to those standards. Let's work together. I'm telling you, you got a great staff around you to help you. So if you're worried about something or if you got a problem, come talk to us. Please come see us. We're here to help you. And I'm just going to say this. It's very rare that you're going to have people that actually care about you in your life. I hate to say that. It's my experience. Maybe your family. Sometimes not even your family. You have people here who actually care about you. So let us know. Don't suffer in silence. If you're hungry, if you can't get food, if you can't get clothing, something, come talk to us. If your mother dies, or your father, your aunt, your uncle, your grandma, your grandpa, come talk to us. Tell us. A lot of students just suffer in silence, and things suffer, and we have no idea why. So let us know so that we can help you. We'll work through things together. Please let us work through things together with you. That's part of being an adult, building a relationship with other adults and letting us know. Now, I guarantee every single one of you in here, I've read all your stuff. You're amazing people. You're good at something or many things. You're not going to be good at everything. Don't be afraid to get a tutor. Get help, right? Okay, everybody know that we're building a rec center here on campus? Yeah, we're building a rec center. So I'm on that committee. That's kind of my background is recreation administration. I'm not an architect, so what do? I get an architect to help me. I'm not a lawyer. What do? I get a lawyer to come help to make the contract with all these things. So what we have to do is surround ourselves with people and get help from people who know other things. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's smart, and it's a great habit to get into. So we've got great resources on campus we'll talk about today. Look around you. Everybody in here can fill in every gap. Some of you I know could already teach better probably than some of our professors in certain areas. Don't tell them I said that. It's true. Be nice, be respectful, but just know, yeah, I'm probably smarter than them at that. There's stuff you're better at than me for sure. So let's get the help that we need. Let's build each other up. Let's network together. I'm just so excited to have all of you here. This is weird. I love you. That's weird, but I've read all of your stuff. I'm just amazed by you. I'm amazed by what you've accomplished already. I'm amazed at how driven I see so many of you are in your essays. You want to change the world? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it together. So with that, oh my goodness, she's down here. With that, I will log off so Sarah Armstrong-Jones can take back over. And again, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. Have you been doing that more than once?
No, but I thought about it. You were so passionate. I knew you were going to go over it.
Hey, it's my call.
That's why I only did it once.
Hello, everyone.
You're out of the frame.
You can stand in front of the phone.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you, Dr. Schnack, for this very encouraging introduction. Dr. Schnack talked about the skills you're going to develop here in your 4-year tenures. So one of these many skills is to develop your multicultural and global education skills. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. My office, the Center for International Education, give you the opportunity to travel abroad, either on your own or with a faculty, and I will explain a couple of those models. Usually I don't follow slides. I usually like just Dr. Schlag talk to you directly, but I'm going to force myself to follow those slides, so I'll cover everything. Okay? So the Center for International Education, we are on Wesley Hall, the 3rd floor, 314. Our office does quite a few functions. One of them is a faculty study abroad programs. Those are the programs that a faculty comes to our office and say, I would like to take a group of students abroad for a week or 10 days or 12 days to a certain country, and usually that is part of a course he or she is teaching. And then our office organize the logistics of that program. We work with the faculty, we recruit students, we work with you to make sure all your paperwork is in order. And the nice thing about these study abroad programs, you can use your scholarship to pay for it, your financial aid packet. So most of the students end up don't have to pay anything from their pocket unless they want to buy a gift to their family members, right? So, but usually even your ticket will be included if your financial aid funds have the enough funds for that, all right? So that's one of the things we do. We do independent study abroad programs. Those students comes and say, I want to join a summer program somewhere. So we look at what available programs. We have students go to Germany, England, other countries where they spend a summer program studying either language or whatever subject matter they are interested in. All right. Usually those programs are run by agencies, and pretty much, the expenses over there are covered. Probably you just need to buy your ticket to go there. Our office also caters to international students, so any international students you see on campus, they come through our office. We are the office that supervises their coming in, making sure that every paperwork is legal. We issue them the I-20s. I don't know how many international students are here who are familiar with that. And then what we do is we work with you if you want to work on campus, off campus, an internship. We have a couple of things that we can discuss with you in our office, what kind of internships you can do off campus. And after graduation, if you are international students, you can work for a full year. You get a work permit, just like anybody else in this country. And if you are a STEM major, you can extend that for another 2 years. So you can stay in this country working for 3 years. The office is run by me, Dr. Fahmi Abushi, and our new program coordinator, Ms. Jennifer Hathaway. She just joined us, and she's sitting there. So we welcome her as part of this team here in this room. Next. All right, so you may ask yourself, why should I stay abroad? Right? So in doing so, you can develop intercultural competencies, right? Immerse yourself in another country, advance your career, become a global citizen. We always tell students, we encourage you in your sophomore and junior year to go study abroad, whether in your own, with the faculty, and put that in your resume. You may graduate with the same grade point average with your friend, you have the same degree, but he or she didn't do study abroad and you did. This may get you the job, right? Because now you have a global perspective, something different so that your employer say, this person is very interesting. He or she's been to this or that country. And that may open a conversation, right? Aside from the job interview that, get you warm up and it may get you the job. So aside from that, to expand your horizon, we encourage you to do such a thing, right? Next. So those are the types of study abroad we have. As I said, it's either faculty-led. See, I always go way ahead of my slides. So it's usually 1 or 2 weeks with the faculty. But also you can do your independent one. Usually, it could be during the semester. For example, Dr. Shaikh mentioned about one of our students who got the Boren Scholarship. She's going to go to Tanzania for 1 full year, right? And she's here to study there, at the University of Dar es Salaam, I believe, in Tanzania. This past spring semester, we had students, she went to South Korea, spent a semester there. In previous years, we had students who went to Ghana, China, Peru, Someone from the right? So yeah, so if you want to spend a semester abroad, come and talk to us. Next. So the funding, there's a lot of fundings going there. You can use your financial aids, some scholarships. You can fundraise through your family, and there are some agencies you can apply for their scholarships to do a study abroad, like Benjamin Goldman International Scholarship, and so on and so forth. And we can talk to you about those. Sometimes we do a workshop and presentation about available scholarships and lead you through the application process. Next. So those are some pictures of our faculty-led programs. Dr. Jennings here, he had a group of students going to Guyana. He is from Guyana. So every year in December we had a couple of programs that are regular. One professor from India takes a group of students to India. Dr. Jennings takes them to Guyana. Next slide. That's it. What?
That doesn't seem right. Did some slides get done?
So Italy was one they just went on.
Yeah, there's a couple of pictures for the one to India and a couple of other pictures for the slides for other study abroad programs.
So which ones are coming up this year?
So Dr. Krishna, he wants to do one to India in December, so that we were talking about that. The Guyana one is going to be in the spring, not in December. But we will advertise those, and we will usually send emails saying we have those programs. If you are interested, come and talk to us. Okay? Any questions? All right, thank you.
I'm not going to say in this place. Good morning. I'm so excited to see all of you. I've talked to some of you on the phone already, but hi, you see me in person. My name is Dr. Akins, and I am the Honors College Advisor. I'm kind of the get down to business kind of person. I tried my stern face. I don't really have one, I think. But although there's lots of advantages to Honors College, you also have some responsibilities. And I'm going to go over the responsibilities. Can you do the next slide? There's my contact information, because you're all going to have to see me at least once a semester. Some of you are going to see me lots more, and I hope I do see you lots more. But once a semester, and my job is to provide academic support and make sure you stay on track with everything you're doing. If you can't get something accomplished, or you have an issue, come to me, and I'm going to make sure that you get those contacts, get something resolved. You have to make sure those contacts with professors are strong. First thing to do, go introduce yourself to your professor. Hi, my name is Ethan, and make sure your professors know your name. If you have an issue, that's where you resolve your issues, because you have that relationship already. When Dr. Steib was talking about building relationships, that's what you do. You build those relationships so you're circumventing those problems already. Okay? So if there ever becomes an issue, you can go up and talk about it with your professor. So every one of your professors, go up and introduce yourself. It's really important. And nobody likes to talk about their subject matter more than your professor. So if you like that subject, they like it even more, and they'll sit and talk about it with you all day long. There's a link there for academic advisors. Can you click on that? Each one of you has an academic advisor, and it corresponds with your subject area. So if your major is in communication, literature, whatever, you can see who your academic advisor is until you become a sophomore. So you go to your academic advisor for your scheduling. They're going to complete your schedule, and in October-ish, you're going to see a Handle Your Business Week. You're going to go to that academic advisor and complete your schedule. I help make sure your schedule's put together, make sure that you're on track for everything, but they must complete your schedule. Everybody get that? Okay. So they are your contact for your academic schedule. I'm your contact for Honors College and to help out things. These guys are really busy with like 200, 300, 400 students doing scheduling. I will help you with everything else. My favorite line is membership has its privileges in Honors College, so you have an extra layer. All right? Can we go back? One more slide, please. Okay, so one of your responsibilities as an honors student is to maintain a 3.5 GPA. That's it. Maintain a 3.5 GPA. If you don't for a semester, you're going to go on something called Honors College Probation. We'll talk about it. Work on getting that GPA back up, okay? Pretty simple. We also have in-course honors projects. So an in-course honors project, everybody read about these? An in-course honors project, you have general honors, honors in your major, and when you put those together, you have your university honors. A general honors project is what you're going to do in your first 2 years, generally. General education courses, English, math, anything, when you look at your check sheet, when you do your check sheet, it's on the left side of your check sheet, okay? You can also think about it, anything that doesn't have the first 3 letters of your major, okay? If your major is biology, the BIO, that's your major, so any course that doesn't have that BIO can be considered general education. 3 projects in general education, 3 in your major. We're going to put those together and it'll be university honors. Those honors courses, when you graduate, you get a medallion for each one. So general education medallion, a medallion for honors in your major, and a medallion for university honors. By the way, if you do what Dr. Ibushi was talking about, you can do international honors, come back and tell us all about your study abroad, or if you happen to live abroad, you can do we have an international bazaar in the spring, and you can tell us all about living abroad or studying abroad and earn international honors. And you will have 4 medallions at graduation besides your graduation regalia for how you graduate. So when you get your honors courses and earn honors credit, on the right-hand side of your screen, you're going to see how it will appear on your transcript. So you're going to see the course, how it's listed, and the HON, and then honors in your major or general honors listed on your transcript when you complete the 3 courses. Everybody clear on that? So when your transcript comes out, when you apply for internships, when you apply for jobs, all of that, people are going to see you were not only listed as being in honors college, right on your transcript, they're going to see the honors credit in the courses. So let's talk about applications first. This application is open August 15th to September 9th. Honors application is this is honors, but and we're going to look at, if you go to Honors College homepage, I want to show them where the application is. Can you go to the homepage?
She's on it. Click one of the things, the drop downs.
On the left, yeah.
Nope, not that one.
No,
That's for the university.
it's the
Academics, it's academics.
It's the arrow.
it's the arrow.
It's just,
Are you on an iPad?
it's this thing.
I know exactly how to get it on my computer. I just want to show where the application
Arrows.
is.
Go up
You can go to
top.
the arrow. So scroll back up.
You were so
Oh.
close.
It's right there. You go.
This arrow?
Nope.
No, there you go.
These.
Yellow.
No, up.
Yellow.
The yellow box. There you go. And then Honors College Home.
See honors project application? It's going to say that it's not open right now, but that's where you go to, and it's an electronic application. You're going to fill out the application, and it's going to include your professor's email address. That's how we know that you're going to do an honors project with that professor. And it's a negotiation between you and your professor. Hey, I'm doing an honors project with you. Do you mind doing it? We're going to contact the professor and say, are you doing this honors project with this student? And if they say yes, great. You do that honors project with the professor for the whole semester. we get back with the professor and say, did this student complete the honors project with a B or above in the course? If they answer yes, you earn honors credit in that course. That easy. You guys are the first class to have honors project course sections. What that means is many of you are already enrolled in honors courses for your general ed. So if you have an FH on the end of one of your courses on your schedule, you already have an honors project for your first semester. Has anybody seen that on their schedule? I see some of you that already have it, so take a look at your schedule. Many of you have it already. It's probably an English class, could be a psychology class, a sociology class, a history class. So check your schedule. Many of you have that FH class, and what that is, you don't have to fill out the application. Your honors project will be built into your class. When that class is finished, you will have earned honors project credit. Everybody clear on that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you have any questions, come see me and I'll tell you about it. One more slide, please. Honors project, this is what an honors project is. These are the things that you can do or what kind of objectives you're trying to reach because of an honors project or in the course of an honors project. We can talk about it if you need some ideas. Many of your professors have done honors projects with us already. So they're going to know exactly what your goal is, what you're trying to achieve. If you need ideas, that's great. Dr. Schleib was talking about social service projects. Great idea. And if you go one more slide. This was a social service project done by 2 of our honors students that worked together. And they basically were working on recording books, people reading books. It was, I believe, fathers reading books that were incarcerated, and they read books to their children on tape, and then those books were given to their children so they could listen to their father read books in the evening before bed when their father was incarcerated, so they could have that for their father. That was done with a professor, an English professor, and that was a social service project for a general honors course. And honors in the major course, I'm going to show you a video here. And for an honors in the major, this student has a TM Thurgood Marshall College Fund Leadership Institute. He's going to attend that. This is his honors project from last year. This was research he was doing with one of our researchers on campus. And I wanted to show you, if you show the video, if you go down on the right-hand side, up one, and you'll see it on the right-hand side of the, go down a little bit more. You'll see the video, it's on the right-hand side. I think it's like 7, slide 7. I just wanted to have them see the robot working. Can you find it? That one. Okay. I'll let you watch that, and thank you. Did you see it?
Yeah, no, it's you may not, it always jumps back to the beginning. You made that, right?
Yeah,
Built it in programming.
you did.
Maybe
Maybe it
freshman. He also won the Undergraduate Research Day Award, top scholarship as a freshman. You get money with that. So he was one of 2 students that won that award. He's now at Wright Pat this summer doing an internship doing research at Wright Pat Air Force Base.
It's wonderful.
He can't tell me what it's about though.
Right.
It's a secret.
How's everybody doing? Doing all right? You need a minute to stand up and stretch your legs? All right. If you do, don't. It won't bother me. I don't think it'll bother the rest of the presenters if you have to stand up in the back for a minute, because I know it's early. Oh yeah, me and the camera. Hey, no, all right, so we're gonna talk, I'm not gonna be very long. I'm just gonna talk about the student organizations and then how the campus and how we will be communicating with you. So first of all are the student organizations. Darielle, here you are. you can come, you wanna come up here? I'll tell you about the first one while Darielle is coming up. The first organization is the Honor Student Organization, and the president for that is Jeremy Jackson, the one who just made the robot. He's doing a lot. And matter of fact, because he's doing his work at the Air Force Base, that's why he couldn't be here today. But we have our advisor, Ms. Wendy Hayes. I'm a co-advisor on that, so that's one thing. And then the International Student Organization. This is Darielle Russell. Say hi.
Hi guys.
Get the camera.
Oh, sorry. Hi guys. My name is Daria Russell. This is my second semester here at Central. I transferred in January from the University of the Bahamas. I'm a sophomore, double majoring in accounting and finance. I'm the new president of the International Student Organization, and I look forward to meeting everyone, especially the international students. And it's good. Yeah.
Thank you. So make sure you see that. And the advisor for that is Dr. Ibushi, and then Dr. Akins and I are also co-advisors on that.
Do you have to be an international student to be a part of this organization?
No, I don't believe so. But I think that it's going to have, it's up to you. The International Student Association and the Honor Student Organization will be working together throughout the semester, so whichever, if you want to get involved with both or either or, that's up to you. Now, Darielle, because international students face different challenges and have, different things of that nature, that's why they have an organization. So, but if you want to become involved because you're curious about other cultures and you're curious about communicating and being involved with other cultures, then that's a good look for you, okay? The honors, the Honda Campus All-Star Competition. Okay, if you like trivia, if you like games, even if you don't, because I'm really bad at trivia, but it's still fun. I enjoyed it last time. Dr. Schlag knows a lot. He's our campus coordinator, and I'm the coach for that. You don't have to be an honor student to be in Honda Campus All-Star. It's like playing Jeopardy. And it's played among HBCUs across the nation. In the past, they traveled. We didn't get to travel this past year, but hopefully soon we'll be able to travel again and compete. So if you want to get involved with that, and you want to bring your friend along, bring him. Okay, we're trying to have a good time. And if you end up being on the competing team, you might get a little something, probably get a t-shirt for sure, maybe a little money, depends on if we win, because we win money for the school, then that might be something good for you too.
And how much does the winning team get?
I forget, is it $3,600?
It's $70,000.
Oh shoot, that was all up. $70,000, people. President Thomas would probably come and thank you personally if you win that. So now I'm going to talk about accessing D2L. First, I'm going to show you how to get to it. I don't know that all of your D2Ls are set up right now, but you go to the Central State webpage, you go to Student Portal, and you'll click on D2L.
What is D2L?
D2L is the learning management system that your teachers and that we use to communicate with you. This is where all of your work will be housed. You might have used something in high school where your assignments are there, you upload your homework, you engage in discussion boards, or some teachers might not use it that much at all. Okay? But this is where all the fun stuff happens. Now this is mine, so I have different things. But you see where it says CSU Honors College? That's us. Don't ignore us, because we're going to be putting fun stuff there. So check that. I'm going to just show you really quickly in your view. what that looks like. So you'll have the About Us on the side. I'm going to sit over here a moment so I can manage this. You'll have the About Us over here. You'll see announcements over on the right. You'll see that the orientation was there. There'll be events posted here. I don't know why it's not posted. Oh, because it's right here. Okay, so check the calendar. You'll see other flyers and things in the announcements that goes all the way down and how to get started.
Will you stop for a minute on those social media sites? How many of you have already followed us on all these social media sites? Okay, please get on there and do it. We're building a community, and if you do an accomplishment, you let us know, or we'll put you on here. If you look, it's really student-centered. It's also events and things like that, but we really want to tell your story through all of this. The highest we've gotten with one of our students is about 2 million views, unique impressions. You hit that? So this person got 2 million people looking at his accomplishment. So please like and follow everywhere.
So under content, you'll also see the Meet the Honors staff. You'll see in-course honors project information, earning honors designations, professional and social development, student spotlights, which we will do on students and on you. There's a place for you to submit any information you want to have highlighted. The honor societies that we have on campus, the link to that. The Honda Campus All-Star, this is our past team. The Honors College Student Association, as well as the International, is here. So this will be your hub. There's a place to send text messages and emails as well, and instant messages. You won't have a grade, obviously. All right. Now, of course, courses can look, this thing will not slide. I've taught English here for a really long time, since 2014, but courses will look pretty much the same. Okay, you'll have your information, you'll have announcements from your teacher, calendar. I'll tell you probably the most important tabs will be the content, the course activities, and the grades. And maybe even tutoring, right? But when you do have access to this, and you can check if you do, make sure you flip through all of it and become familiar with the format. Download these apps. One is called Alertus, and that's where you're going to get the campus alerts and notifications. So if anything happens, like a lockdown on campus, okay, you'll want to have that. It looks like that on my phone, that yellow with the circular thing, and then you'll click into it and you'll be able to see. You'll probably have to do some setup. The other app that you want to set up is Pulse. Pulse looks like a heart, but it looks like a heart pulse. Okay, that's Brightspace. Okay, that's where you will get to access your courses via your phone. Now, I will tell you this, one thing that I've learned about this app is that it does not show you the full view. It's just a little bit. So if you're looking, you're like, where's the calendar? I can't find the calendar or something. There's 3 dots in the top corner, like it says CSU Honors. It's very hard to see on this screen, but it's 3 dots, 1, 2, 3, right above each other. You click on it and click Launch Course Homepage, and then you'll have the access to the full thing. Okay? All right. So we are running behind, and we have a recreational break. And someone is expecting us over in the gym. So, I don't know, Dr. Akins, you mind going after when we get back? Not Dr. Akins, Ms. Hayes.
Yeah, we can do it.
Okay, so we just have to move some things around a little bit.
Well, almost afternoon, everybody. Got 3 minutes to go. My name is Wendy Hayes. I'm the liaison for Honors and International Student Affairs. The short version of that is I help you with all of the university's processes, the most important of that being the enrollment clearance process. So if you've had any issues at all, I've probably communicated with you via email to help work you through that, like getting your scholarships posted. If you've had issues with housing, things of that nature, I'm usually that person that's trying to work behind the scenes to clear everything up for you. I'm going to talk about the spring enrollment process because I want to make sure that you are paying attention to your emails, to D2L, to Navigate. All of these are the communication vehicles that we use to share important dates and information with you. So you need to monitor your university email, if not every day, every other day. For spring enrollment, it's different from the fall. So in the fall, you have to sign up for housing, you have to go to financial aid, cash management. All of those things are going on in the fall. In the spring, your housing isn't going to change unless you request a change. Your financial aid is not going to change unless you have a new source of funding coming in for the spring. So those things won't change, but what we still want you to do is monitor your account because you have to sign up for your classes and then you also have to set up your payment plan if you have any remaining funds or a remaining balance, I should say. You'll have to set up a payment plan for the spring. As Dr. Akins mentioned earlier, October is when you're going to be sent information about the spring enrollment clearance. They will be expecting you to sit with your advisor and set up your schedule for the spring. There is a deadline. If you miss the deadline, you will be charged $300. I don't want any of that to happen to you. So you're going to get this information in October, mid-October, to tell you to meet with your academic advisor to set up your spring classes. Then there's usually a week, 1 week in November. It's usually at the beginning of the month where they call it enrollment clearance. In the past, they called it HYB, handle your business. You will be expected to complete your, if you have a payment plan that you need to set up, you will be expected to do that. We don't want you to be charged an extra $300. So at least for the number that is in here, I am anticipating that none of you are going to have that problem. Because I'm going to ask you, did you look at your email? Did you check D2L? Have you been on Navigate? They will also probably put things out on social media. So you need to be accountable for making sure that that happens. I want to make sure that you're aware of that. And I will be sending out reminders. I will be sending them to your university CSU email. So when you come to see me and you say, I didn't know, I'm going to ask you, did you check? The next thing that I want you to be aware of is, I've just cleared about 3. So the other area of responsibility that I have is for the Living Learning Center, the Living Learning Community. All of the programming that you hear about within the Honors College impacts the Living Learning Community. The whole purpose of the Living Learning Community is to make sure that you are in an environment that supports your academic success and also your growth socially, emotionally, and spiritually. Okay, so we want to make sure that your mental health is great. So you will be hearing about programming that involves going to visit Dr. Sonia Hunt and her staff, because that's where you're going to go. You want access to mental health support services, that's where you're going to go. We want to make sure that if you have any issues with anxiety or anything else, that you know where to go to get those support services. And if you attended SOAR, you probably got a chance to hear from Dr. Hunt. Absolutely outstanding individual that welcomes you in to have that conversation. And that office and her staff are licensed professionals. Why is that important? Because anything that you say to them is said in confidence. They're not going to share it. They can't. It's legally binding that they not do so. So if you need someone to talk to and you don't want it to get out into the masses, that's where you want to go. Okay? The other kinds of activities that we plan for the Living Learning community are things that support your academic success and career planning. So for example, in September and October, there are 2 colleges that will be having career exploration days. These are in addition to what career services is offering, because these are specific to the college. So we want you to be aware of them, because if you haven't chosen a major, or even if you have, there's probably things that you may have questions about. They're going to talk about whatever your major is, what kinds of careers that they lead to, and what the salaries are. I know that's important to you. I know it would have been important to me if I was in your shoes, and I did not have that option. So we want to make sure that we're providing services, because we've all been through it, that we know will be important to you at some point in time. Somebody's in the room now. Other workshops that I have not scheduled yet are things like financial literacy. You may be exposed to some of that in your the first generation, not first generation, the freshman class.
USS 1000.
USS 1000. You may be exposed to a financial literacy course a topic in that course. But we want to get a little deeper so that none of you have any excuses about understanding how to manage money. And I can tell you, when I graduated from college, a lot of folks had a hard time with that concept and ended up in debt because they didn't know how to manage their finances with a credit card. One thing that I want you all to understand as well, the planning of these activities is not done in a vacuum. All of you have an opportunity to have input. The student organization is called Honors Student Association. The Honors Student Association and also the International Student Organization. I'll be meeting with them along with the advisors to create programming that you guys are interested in. So I want you to be encouraged to talk to the president of your organizations. You can also reach out to me if you have suggestions, because we want to create programming that you want, that you're going to participate in. We're not just going to come up with something and say, hey, we want you to participate. We want your feedback, we want your input. So after the event, we'll send out more information about your evaluation of that event. So know that the Living Learning Center is for you, to help you continue and have the best, well-rounded collegiate experience that you can possibly have. So you just went on a tour. I don't know if talking about major office locations is important, but I'm
We're
gonna.
on the tour too.
Huh?
We on the tour too.
Okay.
We just went to the gym.
So let's see. Did I leave off anything? No. Okay. So major offices. I want to make sure I get through all of this, so I'm not holding you guys up for lunch. In the Norman E. Ward Center. Did you guys do? The Ward Center? No. Okay, the Norman E. Ward Center is that building that's right across from Speedway. Everybody familiar with where Speedway is? Okay. In that building, on the ground floor, is the admissions office, financial aid, the cash management office, and the registrar. All of the offices that impact your enrollment clearance processes are all in one location. That's very important because now you don't, years ago you had to run around all over campus to find these people. They're all right in one building and all on the same floor. So those are the primary offices that can help you get through the process. So in addition to knowing where they are, you have me, because I fight on your behalf. Okay? And I'm pretty good at it, so.
Did everybody hear that? If you run into problems, Mrs. Hayes knows how to help you.
I can help you. Okay. In the University Student Center, the Office of Marauder Leadership and Engagement. What is that office? That office houses all the student organizations. They will also help you engage with the campus community. So if you have an interest in anything, whether it's Greek Life or some of the other organizations on campus, that's the office that you need to visit. Now they will have, during Pirate Week, they will probably have a fair, a student organizational fair. That's important because that's going to inform you on what's available to you. And if you don't find an organization that interests you, guess what? You can create it yourself. You can create it yourself. There's a process. You have to follow the protocol in the process and fill in, and submit the appropriate paperwork because you have to have an advisor. The Honor Student Association, that organization was just formed last academic year. And they are doing their thing, okay? So if any of you have an interest in doing that, tap Jeremy Jackson on the shoulder and say, hey, how difficult is it to do that? This is what my idea is. You will need an advisor because if you're trying to plan activities on campus, that advisor has to sign off on it and they have to be there. So that's the first thing that you need to find is someone who is willing to sponsor you and be that advisor to the organization that you're trying to create, okay? The other offices that are in that building that are important to you is the Student Government Association. So I don't know how much you guys know about that. You're going to hear more about the Student Government Association during this week. I encourage you, if you have any interest in governance, that is the organization that you want to become a part of. And guess what? It looks great on your resume. President of the Student Government Association at Central State University. That means you represent all the students. That's a very great feather in your cap to have on your resume. So their offices are in the same area on the first floor behind the information desk. You just go around the corner. Their offices are in the same location as Marauder Leadership and Engagement. My phone is not showing anything. Okay, on the second floor, Student Affairs, the Vice President of Student Affairs. His suite is on the second floor as well. So if you go up the escalator, through the glass doors, you're gonna go to your left toward the President's dining room. That hallway takes you to the Student Affairs, the Vice President of Student Affairs office. And if you keep going past his office, you're going to run into the Dean of Students Suite and Career Services. So everything that you need to get more information about life on campus, life on the yard, that is the building where all of those offices are housed. And if you need names, I can give you that information. I think Ms. Jones is going to give you guys a schedule of all the things that's going on. I will attach to that the names and their titles for all of these offices, okay? But if you have any questions, you can feel free to reach back out to me. Thanks. Okay, continuing with the major offices. Residence Life. you find the Director of Residence Life in Foundation 2. Everyone knows where Foundation 2 is?
Yes, ma'am.
That man right there just walking through the room, that's Mr. Fry. The gentle giant back there, he is located in Foundation 2. When you come in, there's going to be a desk, an information desk right there in Foundation 2. Just go around it, and he's right there in that office that's located behind. And then across from the football stadium, at Pearson Stadium, is where the facilities offices are located. The facilities and the mailroom. So I know you don't really care too much about the facilities office, but I know you care about the mailroom. I'm sure some of you are already changing your address with Amazon. That's where you pick up your mail. Okay? And yes, ma'am.
I can take anybody also, if y'all really need to go.
Thank you. Do everyone know who you are?
I'm a nurse. I work here at Jones. And if y'all do need to know, just ask my number after this.
And then I just have that the narrow is only open Tuesday to Friday, I think, 10 to 3.
Look at you, you know something. Check it out.
So I wanted, and if you have any other questions, these are the primary offices that I thought would be most important to you. Of course, the president's office is in the administration building. The Newsom administration building is the only dark brown building on the campus. It's on Brushrow Road, a little further down from Speedway. So if you have any questions at all about anything, feel free to ask. Is that right? Yes. So thank you very much, and I look forward to meeting all of you in person.
We'll go on, Mr. Fry.
Great to meet you. How you doing?
Thank you.
Good, sir. Y'all good? Y'all good? Y'all true? Ooh, y'all not good. If y'all good,
They've been here since 10 a.m., so.
got it. Got it. So I'm gonna be real quick because I know we're running behind, but then I also know that I'm standing away between meals, and if you can look at me, I don't like to miss a meal myself. So, but really want to talk to, we'll do two things because now I get to stand in the gap for Dr. Taylor, who's not going to be able to make it as well today. So first, let me bring greetings on behalf of Dr. D'Angelo Taylor, who is the Vice President for Student Affairs. He wanted to be here with you all, but there were some scheduled conflicts, but he definitely wanted to say welcome. I want you all to know that if he can ever be of assistance to you all, or if you need an advocate, he's definitely there to do that. His office is located in the Student Center in Suite 215. And he's always ready to help and assist you as best as he can. So I get the role of talking about the conduct process or campus discipline. And so I'm going to tell y'all, everywhere y'all go is rules, right?
Yes, sir.
Even at your own home, mama got some rules, right?
Yes, sir.
Daddy got some rules, right? And what happens when you break them?
Punishment.
Oh, don't say, I don't want to hear those violent terms, but there's some consequences or or what I like to call tough love that happens. And so one thing I will tell you in the short version is that Central State is no different or no stranger to rules. But then there's also, Central State is no stranger to administering what I like to call tough love as well. And so in terms of rules, there's a rule for pretty much everything. We have a student code of conduct, we have a student handbook, and then even in the residence halls, we have what we call a living and learning guide. And all three of those things can be found on the university website. And so I encourage each of you to take the moment to read those things. Because if you don't know, not knowing is not a good answer. And so we want everybody to make sure that they're familiarizing themselves with those things so that you don't find yourselves in a conduct proceeding in terms of discipline on the campus. But I will tell you, when I talk about tough love, the university can issue what we call an interim suspension. And an interim suspension means that you have to go home immediately, away from the campus immediately. And there's certain criteria where interim suspension is implemented. We also do suspensions, but we also work on restorative justice practices as well. But the good thing, I don't have to worry about that type of stuff with this group of students because I'm dealing with some honor students, right? Mm-hmm. So if I ain't got to worry about y'all, shout true.
True.
Y'all still quiet on me, so I don't know.
They're
about this,
tired
right?
now.
But 5 things I definitely want to make sure you all hear in your remembrance is that the university has a zero tolerance policy. And in that zero tolerance policy is weapons, drugs, alcohol, physical assault, and sexual assault. It's a zero tolerance. We play no games about it. It means that we will respond immediately in terms of disciplinary action or trying to resolve the situation. Now, I will tell you, even in those types of situations, we understand that some persons may be innocent, some persons may not be. But we also understand that safety is our primary focus. And so when we issue what we call an injured suspension, or say we have to remove you off the campus, at the end of the day, it's all about safety. And so we may look at one returning you home or finding you a safe place to be until we can figure out what's going on. Because we know for sure that there's always 3 sides to every story. What you're saying, what they're saying, and what the truth is. And it's our goal and our focus in terms of conduct hearing board to figure out what that truth is. And then make a sound decision to make sure that we can, one, restore the campus, but then also making sure that we're making the best actions for us. Let's say you have a question.
I don't know how many international students are here, but this topic is really, really important because if you are found responsible for any of these things that he just mentioned, the no tolerance, you lose your scholarship. There, this is college, it's not high school, so a suspension is not 5 days and you get to come back. A suspension is a whole semester or a whole academic year. And for an international student, that's a really, really big deal because if you're a PSSP student, you lose that scholarship, you lose that support from the ministry, and they won't give it back.
You might also have it affect your visa, and then where do you go?
That's it.
If you're international. So it's a big deal.
So I just want to make sure that is very, very clear because we have had instances in the past where students didn't think what they did was that big of a deal, like smoking marijuana. That's a big deal on Central's campus because Ohio has not made it legal.
Correct.
So you cannot do that because you used to do it at home and say, well, it's part of my culture. No, it's not here. And that goes for both international students and domestic students. So please, 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 because I'm on the committee with him. You can't come to me and say, Mrs. Hayes, can you help me? I'm going to say, no, I can't help you. So I want to make sure that you guys understand that. That's a really, really, really important and big thing. All right?
Absolutely. And for students who are stateside, I will share this, that also impacts your financial aid.
Yes.
And your ability to transfer to another university. Some people are like, well, yeah, I did, I'm just going to go transfer to another institution. Guess what that institution is going to do when they realize that you attended Central State University?
Yeah.
They're going to call us. We got to report it. And so that may hinder your acceptance from another institution. So please be mindful. Your actions has consequences, and those consequences can follow you as well. Yes, ma'am.
I was just gonna say, because this is my second semester here, so for like payments, yes, like our drinking age at home is 18, over here is 21, so like things that people who live here can get away with, like yeah, they could go home, they could drive home. For us, that's like 2 flights home. You like that's just a big disappointment for your family to get thrown out of college. So like just watch out, like for real. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Any questions for me? Seeing none, hearing none, definitely, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. I'm excited to have you all here. And if I can ever be of support to you, please come find this little guy on campus, and I'll be sure to be able to assist you as best as I can. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Way too tall. It's like I just climbed on a draft horse. So I remember getting down off the draft horse thinking, now I'm really short. So previous speakers spoke from the floor. Thumbs up if that's what you want me to do, or if you prefer for me to stay on the stage and then just... Okay, all right, thank you.
We're filming too. I mean, we're live streaming, so.
Okay, so they can see me as well, right?
Yep.
So hello to everyone. Thank you for this time to be able to share with you. I'm excited about your progress and congratulations on being honor students here at Central State. And you are definitely university material. Let's see what kind of information I can share with you and how that can speak to you, and you can claim it and use it as an investment in your own academic success. So we like to think that we could be called academic aid for your college success here at Central State University. And so this does give you the basics that I am now the interim director standing in this position to help you. And our acronym stands for OASIS, or the acronym is OASIS, and it stands for Office of Academic Support. Did you see me peek? Office of Academic Support and Instructional Services. I'm not afraid to use my resources. Okay? So, next slide, please. So I do have several slides because I was surprised by how excited I got that I would be able to present today and share with you, and hopefully share with you my personal feeling that I am available to each and every one of you. This is your tutoring service. So I'm hoping you tell me or tell us what you need. If you only need a 10-minute session, or if you have a singular question, right? You don't want me to go on forever like I feel like I am now. But when we're reaching out to each other, please take this invitation if you haven't seen it yet. I did get it from a colleague. I thought it was a great idea to make sure I share it, because when we receive emails from students, we can be so much more prepared to help you and to answer your questions directly if we have this basic information that you have easy access to. And we encourage you to memorize your own student ID number, because it is going to be such an advantage.
Can I just second what she just said? Some of you are emailing me from your Gmail. I don't know who P. Dizzy Fluffball is, right? I'm like, you didn't even tell me who you are in here, and I'm trying to figure out who you are from your email thing. So this is really good. It's very professional, and it will help all of us serve you better. Yes.
Absolutely. And I try to do the same, but there might be more information on mine that you want to see. So this helps a lot. So you can see, you might even choose to take a picture of it. If you wanted me to send you the presentation, I can do that as well, but this may be the only slide that you decide you want a copy of. So I appreciate if you leave me out of the picture, but if you can't, that's fine. Next slide, please.
Sarah, thank you.
Thank you. So here I'm going to bring up Navigate. And I heard it mentioned at least once today. Navigate is a way where you can reach out to your professors, your instructors, your advisors. So yes, you can also reach out to us in OASIS for help with academic instruction. And we have all kinds of services that I'll be going over with as succinctly as possible to help you with that. In Navigate, I do not plan to actually schedule tutoring sessions. We have a tutoring platform that lets us do that, where you can actually see the current sessions that are still open and available, which ones are drop-in, so that you can come in and be the first one to ask me a question in that particular time, and a first come, first serve, I'll answer those questions. So in Navigate, you can reach me through that. You can see my schedule, but the most up-to-date schedule will be in Upswing. So if you're writing that down or looking for that slide to come up, then you can take the opportunity to take a picture of that as well. So Success 30, think about what helps you be successful and the things that you dared to try and actually found that you could not only accomplish but excel at. Can you think of one or more? So think of the talents and how you already worked and invested to increase those talents. So be open to, I hope, to other new ideas, and certainly share ideas like we've had a sharing in here so far. So Success 30. Success 30 is a way that the academic advisors remind us that you will be a sophomore as soon as you have accomplished 30 credits. So that will be helpful to think of that as perhaps one of your first goals.
Can I just comment really quickly? I didn't bring this up, but you also, to maintain your honors scholarship continuing, You have to earn 15 credit hours a semester. If you drop below that, they will not apply the honors scholarship. So 15 each semester, that gives you 30 each year. That'll get you graduated in time and keep your scholarships.
And that's all working together to make sure you're successful. So that's awesome that you're thinking about that now. Because if you're facing, one particular course and you're wondering how you're going to bring up your current level, if you have all that in play already and make sure you're reaching out to your resources, we'll be glad to help you with that. Get to know your professors. Claim your spot in the classroom. Maybe mix it up, sit in a different place. We all probably know that if you sit in the same chair in a particular class, the instructor or the professor is more likely to learn your name. Okay? So that's just putting that out there. Make sure you're doing your own work on time. Go to classes. Absolutely go to classes. Take notes and study. So when we're looking ahead at the resource available for tutoring, when you bring in those notes, and you could say, I understand this, and this one little place in here, everything went wrong. And I'm tutoring math, so to me that's definitely happened to me. And I heard a professor say eeks, and I'm like, what is that? And after 2 weeks, I learned that eeks was X. And all of a sudden, I was clairvoyant. All the math started coming together. I had interpreted the eeks in the course. Because we had a lot of eeks. I thought, wow, he keeps making mistakes. All right. So any questions on some of these suggestions up here? Can you give me a thumbs up if you agree with more than one of them? Awesome. Thank you. Next slide, please. I did spend a little too much time on this, but you have a handout. And I hope you will see the connection between the handout you've been given. And I do have more if you didn't happen to get one yet. Yours is not color-coded yet. I don't know about you, but I like colors. It's kind of like highlighters. They keep me on track. And in this particular coded form, I would like you to see a pattern. Do you see a pattern of like maybe a math class? How often is the math class?
3 times a week.
Thank you. 3 times a week. And it's called what? Calculus. Anybody here looking forward to taking calculus? Woo! Okay.
Wow.
That's the way to get it. All right.
Wow.
If you don't have any trig experience, please see me, because that's where I was at when I started at Penn State University. Tested right into engineering calculus, and I had never seen trigonometry at my redneck high school. Okay? Ask me later if you don't know what a redneck high school is. I'll be glad to tell you. All right, so yes, some of these classes are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday predictable classes. Some of them are Tuesday and Thursday. There's the USS 1000 is once a week. So I'm not an academic advisor. I just put a mismatch up there to help you see that if you add them up, and it's 1 credit hour for each hour, that almost seems redundant. Then how many credits is this student taking? Estimate? 14, 20. Thank you for looking at it and multiplying in your head. So the calculus is 2 slots of 30 minutes. So it's like 3 hours a week. Oh, 3 credit course. Sound familiar? And this one was created to be between 15 and 18 credits. That's good enough for our purpose here. I'm not looking for an exact answer. So you're already thinking that because I'm challenging you to make sure you're spot on. You're not considering dropping a course and going below that 15 credits per semester. And looking at your study skills and thinking about what you're going to do differently. Perhaps you already have ideas of what can help you do even better than what you've been able to accomplish in the past. And I can certainly help you with those when you come to talk to us. So utilize tutoring and study groups. I've definitely listed under study skills. So utilize it. Claim it as your tutoring service. Don't think of it as that's from somebody else. It's for you. Time management. Be daring to take that handout that you have. Create a weekly scheduled plan. And when this is given in USS 1000, a similar assignment, you're challenged to make sure, because I'm one of those that had to learn this, that if you can get from here to there in 15 minutes, did you count how long it takes you to get, maybe you're taking your vehicle. So I have to add time for me to leave the house, lock it up, say goodbye to the cat and the dog and my triplets. You know what I'm trying to say. Next thing you know, where'd 7 minutes go? So make sure you're adding all of that in, and here you can do that. Be kind to yourself. Know what time you're more likely to be successful when you get up. You have a regular routine that you go through so that your brain is ready. Maybe you've even gotten in some physical exercise. That always helps me to get my brain ready to remember what I'm practicing. Time management. Look at the second one. Class time plus 2 hours. Outside of each hour in your course. Does this make sense the way I worded it? If you're in class in calculus for almost 2 hours, we round it up and call it an hour, excuse me, I said 2 hours by mistake. 50 minutes, you hear me saying an hour, right? Okay, so hopefully that allows you 10 minutes to get to your next class. But when you create a schedule of time management, of being in class and studying, what are all these green areas that aren't labeled?
Personal time.
Personal time. I heard the word study, right? And definitely, you get to pick that. These are all your decisions. Any questions? Why there's so many? If you're carrying a 15-hour credit load, how many hours a week should you be studying, making sure you have time to study? Are we thinking 30? Thank you. Okay. Make sure you meet the deadlines for assignments. Don't start it, of course, the day that it's due if you had more than one day to do it. My daughter ended up, oh, here I go sharing a story. Thumbs down if you don't want a story from me. Okay, that was all you get. So my oldest triplet, she fell off her horse, and this time she got a concussion, and she was a senior in high school, and all of a sudden it interrupted all her academics, right? Teachers, we've all lived different life experiences, but I was surprised as an educator that nobody came up with a plan that really fit my daughter. I sent her to school half a day. Guess what was wrong with that? The half a day she was home and not in school was not enough to rest up her brain that was injured. So her grades came down. I had her on home instruction right away because I've worked for Ohio programs to do that for other students. And it wasn't enough. So make sure you're working on your mental health. Make sure you're giving yourself what you need, right? And in this case, I bring that up because the things we're thinking won't really affect us. We do have to think of that when it does happen, right? Okay. Let's see, time management. Leave some space for downtime. What does that mean?
Time to recharge.
Time to recharge. Time to be real, right? This is all part of your persona. And I like the word recharge. I can't really add much to that. So let's go to the next slide, please. I like to think this is where tutoring fits in to help you organize your thoughts and so that you can come in and see this as a service that will be available to you. So I hope you heard me say, let me know what you want. It's not another class. You come and go as you need to. So please make sure you know how to get into D2L. You can see here, you can click on the tutoring tab. You might even click on it every week to see how it changes. Currently, we have the Oasis, which is the department I'm working out of, and how you can reach us. And then the second one is the Upswing, and the third one is e-tutoring. So I have 5 hats here at Central State University. I am the Central State representative for e-tutoring services. I can definitely tell you that it's available 7 days a week in multiple subjects. The Upswing is available 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Both of these are collaborative of other tutors. It's not just me. So if I'm not in there, that's okay. You'll find another tutor in the subject that you're looking for. You can look at their scheduling, e-tutoring, and plan to meet them there in that space online. So when you look at that toolbar, you can see the tutoring, and it shows you those 3 options right now. Next slide, please. Think of us as your tutoring service. I hope you can now say Oasis, and you know it's academic success, right? Instructional services. Next slide, please. We do have peer tutors. I hope you saw that quick on the last slide. We have learning specialists, so I'm the math specialist, And Mr. Conrad Zagori is our writing specialist. So think of ways that we can be of help to you, because you should be expecting a writing assignment in every course you take here at Central State University. So we can offer you one-on-one, we can offer you small groups, we can help you create your own small group. I see a lot of potential in this room right now. We have weekly workshops, which may not be the same exact courses that you're taking. We have Math 1550 and Math 1750. If you are interested in being a paid peer tutor, please think of this ahead of time, think of it now. Every course you get an A or B in. You can come and apply to our department, which is tutoring available for every tutor, every student on campus, in every subject. So you can come and apply to be a peer tutor because you're already meeting our other qualifications by being an honor student. Any questions? All right. We also have study skills. This is twice a month, and we have a math anxiety to math efficacy workshop that I recently surveyed students, and that's exactly what they were wanting. So we're going to be offering that twice a month as well. Next slide, please. And there's my picture, if you already didn't get to see me. I was going to bring my hat up because that's what students know me by. And so if you see this hat bobbing down the sidewalk, you can probably guess. I've had students change their trajectory so that they could talk to me and let me know what they're up to and so forth. So Mr. Conrad Zagori is our writing specialist, and we are basically available Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So that means our last tutoring session has to start before 4:30. Make sense? You're welcome to schedule ahead of time, and you're welcome to drop in. It's amazing how well he can make drop-ins work with several different students showing up about the same time. So we'll be glad to connect with you and let you know, hey, it's going to be about a 3-minute wait. Have a seat at a computer. You can sit in our computer hub and study independently. And you can do that whether you're coming in to study with a tutor or not. Next slide, please. So I'm going to do this even quicker. There's a repeating here. You can see the tutoring tab again, and now you can see that the Upswing is available. So a little bit about Upswing on the next slide. Here's what it looks like when you actually click on that tab. So you're in D2L, you click on tutoring because you're going to make sure you have time for that. You see this, and then you make another click. It says log in now, and boom, you're already in. How can that happen? That's the digital technology, right? You already have your CSU ID number, and you're in a computer with that number and your password, and you already know that that's all connected. So this is a beautiful thing for you. Next slide, please. This is somewhat what you'll see. This is my student view in my account. So it gives you a choice to meet with the tutor. And there's a lot to soak in here, but I know you can do that on your own time as well. So I'll go to the next slide. Here you can see that if you type in on that box at the top and it says what subject, if you just type in trig, it'll give you some choices already because it has already been programmed with courses here at Central State. So here's an example, and then we have some tutors available. That's not my picture in the top one, and you know that's where I want my picture to be. But I am not the only tutor in this program. So if I didn't say that yet, this reminds me to tell you that this is a collaborative that Upswing has, and they have multiple tutors available so that as a university, we can tell you tutoring is available 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And if you want to know my hours in Upswing, you can do that as well, because you can request my name and you can just look at my schedule. In my learning account, I can't pull up myself because they don't want me to mess up my files trying to be my own student. Next slide, please. And we have resources available on site. I'm sorry if I'm taking longer than it was allotted today, but I want you to know we have scientific calculators available that you can use, computers you can work on, and we also have account materials that you can study from for graduate exams, entrance exams. So this is a short list. There's more than this available, such as you don't see psychology up here, but it is under GRE. We have index cards that you can study from. Has anybody ever studied from index cards? Thank you. I always had to work with that with my science words. Okay, next slide, please. College of Education students need to have the ACT or SAT or successfully completed at least 2 College Credit Plus courses. Next slide. And this is one thing I like to share. This message here is that when you come in for tutoring, we will talk about what you ask about. So if I find out in the first 30 seconds of talking with you that I feel you're going to have a particular appeal to flowcharts, then I can show you a flowchart of how things are connected and to explain a gap that you've asked about. Or I might get right to the point. If you look at the bottom line where it says tutoring provides, and the arrow says very succinctly, if you follow this train of thought, it was also provided in the circles, that you are here to expose yourself and to develop intuition of the subject material that you'll be covering, right? So thankfully, the brain surgeon that worked on my husband's brain did not only study one particular concentrated course. He was able to, on the fly, decide how to save my husband's life when he went into a coma. And so I'm looking for intuition as being something we all crave. We want to be able to do what speaks to us. So we're not just studying the same materials and courses that other people are studying, we're taking it in a new direction. And that direction is your own special skill and practice. So that's what you need to do, is make sure you practice something that you're learning until it becomes part of your understanding. Tutoring also provides feedback, more feedback. And hopefully you will find, and of course you will find, it's empowering feedback. And we definitely provide a safe place without judgment, so come on in and let us know what you need. And if you feel like you need to leave earlier than you expected, of course we're open to that as well. Reach higher, go farther, and thrive. Thank you.
Well, I'm not going to ask how you're doing because Mr. Fry already asked that. But I am going to stand up here so they don't have to move the camera again. So my name is Steve Harmon. I'm the Recruiting Operations Officer for Central State University. This is Lieutenant Colonel Hawthorne. He is the Professor of Military Science at Central State University. And if you don't know, we do have Army ROTC on campus. And since we're about back on time, I think, what, sir, maybe 2 hours to brief this today? 2 hours is good? Okay, maybe we'll do it a little bit faster. But a couple of things we want to talk about. Did anybody do ROTC or have junior ROTC in their high school? Did you take junior ROTC? Yes. How many years did you do? 3? Great. Where are you from?
Trotwood.
Where? Trotwood. Okay, you've probably seen me then. Over there, okay, because I go to Trotwood fairly often. So tell Colonel Graves you see I said hi. But if you're familiar with junior ROTC at the high school, the mission there is what they call build better citizens. What we do at the college level with ROTC, which stands for Reserve Officer Training Corps, is we prepare you and teach you to become an officer in the United States Army, so a second lieutenant. So in 4 years when you graduate, you can have a job starting off $60,000, $65,000 a year, depending on where you're stationed, because housing can vary. But Army ROTC is about leadership training. Even if you don't want to go on to be an Army officer, I would encourage you to take our Military Science 1 and our Military Science 2 classes, which is about leadership training, because if you're going into business or whatever career field, if you're here at college, you're probably going to be responsible and in charge of people at some time in your career after you graduate. That's what we do about Army ROTC with Army ROTC. And we want to teach you how to be good leaders, how to be good managers. We don't like to use the term manage in the Army, but it's all about leadership. And we will go through, we'll take you, we'll train you out, hands-on type stuff. We'll teach you theory type things, so that when you graduate, we can get you commissioned as a second lieutenant in the United States Army, either to go on active duty in the Army and do that as your full-time job, or maybe your lifelong desire is to go back home and to be a teacher, we can put you in the Army National Guard, the United States Army Reserve, so you can get your education here from Central State University, go home, and still do what your desires are, but still be in the Army part-time 1 weekend, 2 weekends a month. So that is what we're about, is the leadership training that we're going to give you, whether it's for the Army or whether it's for your civilian job, if that's what you decide to do. How are you going to pay for school? That's the big question everyone comes. We have a lot of different ways to pay for school. We have Army ROTC scholarships. So your tuition here, if you're in state, it's about $6,800 a year. So an Army ROTC scholarship to Central State University could either cover 100% of your tuition, or we have a scholarship, it's called Room and Board Scholarship, which is $10,000 a year. Which all of our students here at Central State, we encourage them to take the $10,000 a year, because that's enough money to pay your tuition and have extra money for your room and board. And on top of that, we're going to pay you $420 a month, a stipend that will be right into your bank account, and we'll give you $1,200 a year for books. Actually, we don't give you anything. You earn all this with the Army ROTC. We don't give you a thing. So we have those scholarship opportunities. If you are qualified academically, because you're in the honors program, I know you're qualified, but we have to look at other things like health, physical fitness, and some other stuff like that. But if you're qualified, we can get you the Army ROTC scholarship to pay for your school and set you on a career path. We have another program called simultaneous membership. You can do that with the United States Army Reserve or with the Ohio Army National Guard. You don't have to be from the state of Ohio to be an SMP cadet, but if you enlist in the Ohio Army National Guard, state of Ohio is going to pay 100% of your tuition. Now you do have to go to basic training for this, but when you come back and you start your sophomore year, you're going to get 100% of your tuition between your GI Bill, the ROTC stipend, and your drill pay as a sergeant in the Army National Guard. You're going to get about $1,150 a month to go to school on top of your tuition. You can survive and do well at school on an extra $1,150 a month, right? I mean, Dr. Slag, am I wrong?
No, that's okay.
$1,150 is a lot of money, and we can do that. You can still go active duty, or you can stay in the Guard or the Reserve. Is there anything before we go to the last slide you want to add?
Yeah. Hey, by show of hands, how many of y'all have family members that are in the military? Okay, quite a few. Good stuff. All right. And how many of you all have a potential interest or thought about the military, a negative connotation about the military? Okay, not bad. All right. And let me tell you this. All right. So, originally from Detroit, Michigan. All right, in the city. All right. I had no at all right, about doing more than 5 years in the military. Just being honest with you. I graduated from West Point in 2004. All right, my plan was to go in, all right, get out of the D, all right, graduate, do my 5 years in the military, and go off and make money. 19 plus years later, I'm still doing this thing. All right, so I will tell you that wearing this uniform is not that bad. I'm gonna be honest with you. All right, there, you know, like Mr. Harmon talked about, there are so many opportunities.
Oh, you're good.
There are so many opportunities that could be available to you. All right, should you choose a career path in the Army? You know, like you said, it's not just active duty. All right, you have the reserve component as well, National Guard, as well as the reserve. All right, so you know, like you said, hey, we're right across the street. Tremendous opportunities. You know, I love it. I couldn't see myself doing anything else. You know, before you say, hey, this is not for me, trust me. All right, if you have even a inkling, all right, of you know, you think you might be interested in it, come check it out. Come talk to us. You never know. Hey, that 5 years for you, or 4 years for you, might turn into, like myself, 19, 20-something years in.
Oh, I feel bad now, because the Colonel said he started the Army in 2004. That was the year I retired from the Army in 2004. Thanks, sir. I feel really good now. But I would encourage everybody to sign up and take the MS1 course. There is nothing obligating because you take the MS1 course. Doesn't mean you're going to get locked in the Army. It's just going to teach you about leadership training. And I think we've heard talk about time management. That's the type of thing that we're going to teach you in Military Science 1. Healthy lifestyles, how to be fit, how to do all that good stuff. So I would encourage you just to take MS1, go into it with an open mind, and you might figure out, you know what, I'm going to take MS2 because I like what it sounds like. If you tell me towards the end of the semester, hey, you know what, Mr. Harmon, I think I want to do this, then we'll sit down and we'll talk some more, and I can submit you for an Army ROTC scholarship that will start sophomore year next fall. So yeah, there's the next slide. So if you want more information, you want to talk to me, take your camera, scan that QR code. It does not go to a database. All it does is send me an email. I'm not going to record that. I'll put it on my Excel spreadsheet so I can call and talk to you. But it doesn't go to some, the Army recruiter or anything like that. I'll step out of the way. It doesn't go to the Army recruiter where you're going to start getting unsolicited emails. But that's all you got to do. You can text me at 937-361-2263, or you can just simply email us or go to our website, centralstate.edu/ArmyROTC, and you can click on my link anywhere you want to there. Or the best thing to do is walk right across the street. You'll see that awning says ROTC. Walk down there. My office is on the right. Come in and talk to us. Any questions before we move on? Okay.
Don't be a stranger.
Yeah, we'll see you over there after welcome week.
I'm gonna yell at y'all when I see you walking out. Hey, how y'all doing? I'm telling you, I'm a social butterfly. I love people. All right, so don't talk about me. If I do that, just have a conversation.
All right. Thank you. Did you want to go back to Pirate Week?
Yeah, you want to
No, I don't know anything about it. Anybody, where does that QR code take you?
It takes you to the student life page.
Okay. Have you all gotten information about Pirate Week? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're good there? You're covered. Can I just take you a second?
Sure.
Okay, so I know we've put a lot of information at you, but I really kept feeling like I need to talk with you about syllabi. Do you guys know what syllabus is?
Yes.
Okay, anybody not had a syllabus in high school or anything? Okay, syllabus is really your contract. So what I want you to do is I want you to take that syllabus and put every assignment in your calendar. Now you get a free calendar with Microsoft, right? Your student account is automatically associated with that. So I encourage you to put every assignment in there, and then you guys know how to do it like an alert?
Yeah.
With those major assignments, put an alert 1 week before, maybe 2 weeks, depending how long you think it's going to take you. Put an alert in there. So your phone pops up. Hey, you got this due next week. With every single assignment. Put your classes in there too. Have them do an alert before class. 15 minutes before class, boom. I know I need to go there. This really important. That's your contract. You got to follow the contract. Now, I'm going to say this too, but this is just staying in our safe space. Keep your professors honest too. You hear me? They make mistakes as well. They might lose track of things. You got to document everything. You got to keep emails, take pictures of your graded assignments, all these things. This is a contract both ways between you and the professor. So keep on top of that stuff. We want you to be successful. This is going to be the hardest semester. Maybe the next semester will be your hardest semester at college. But once you get them out of the way, once you start getting into your major, boom, you're going to hit your stride. So if you can do well now, if you could do well at the next 2 semesters, you're gonna rock it. So we're here to support you on all that. I just felt like I needed to say that to you. And again, all these people, isn't it great that you have all these people that care about you? We had one of the real expert on honors colleges on campus just a couple weeks ago. He's from the University of Missouri. He's taught at Duke University. He said, you know what you guys have going for you here at Central State? Your students are going to have way more opportunities than students at a large university. You're going to have opportunities to be involved in leadership more than other people. You're going to have people know you better, right? You should be developing a network of people who can be references for you when you graduate, or even before, to help you get internships and stuff like that, scholarships. throw money at you. Okay, so you have so many opportunities here, so many great people. I'm excited for you to be here.
Thank you, thank you. No questions? Any questions? A lot of information. So we're getting ready to go to lunch. We do have a campus tour at 2 o'clock. So we can walk over together to the student union. That's where lunch is. I'm sure you guys know by now. Hopefully you ate yesterday.
I think a lot of, how many ate?
Did you eat?
A lot of people didn't eat.
Really?
We paid for you. Go eat.
Yeah.
You gotta eat.
We're gonna go eat. And then at 2 o'clock by outside the student union on the bookstore side, we'll have a campus tour. And if that works, it looks so great, you can get to the interactive campus map, or you can just put in your phone Central State University campus map if you want to just know where, what the buildings are, things like that. Okay? Thank you guys. Thank you. I'll see you.
You don't use your card till tomorrow because you'll get card rate pirate week, right?